We good.
Go. All right. We got a lot of people online too. Again, during Bold, we'll be doing team meetings on Wednesdays, 11:30. There'll be a reduced, shorter version.
Yep.
So you can get out and you can go to a lunch point with somebody.
Yeah.
So first thing you gotta do is look around, see somebody you don't know. You got 1 minute to say hi to somebody new. If you're online, send a direct message, go. All right, come on, computer. All right, so every week we talk about our MBV, VRP. Today's our perspective. And what is our perspective?
Training, coaching, consulting, and technology company, creating the culture and community where entrepreneurs thrive. How many of you were at Bold yesterday and you saw the Entrepreneurs Thrive video, John Keller? Isn't it so good? Every time I watch it, I still get chills, and it's been out for a year or so.
Yeah, actually 20, I guess almost 2 years now, I think.
Yeah.
So, man, time goes by. It's crazy. I'm feeling old. If you all saw my MC Hammer dance earlier,
He's still trying to catch
I'm
his
still
breath.
trying to breathe. But nothing sprained, so we're good. All right, also, each week we have a lot of vendors and affiliates who come in and join us. I know it's a little different on Wednesdays. Who do we have here today?
Derek, let's start with you.
Yeah, Derek Cheney, home loan expert with Mid-Missouri Bank. I don't know if you guys heard, but rates dropped quite a bit in the last week. So that's some good news for the buyers. We're sitting just above 6% there, so that can make a big difference on what people can afford, or maybe lower their monthly payment on what they're already looking at. So here for all your home loan needs, and if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you. Christina.
Hi, Christina Ferrante with 417 Home Loans at Flat Branch. I'm your lending lady for life. And I will second what Derek absolutely said. Rates are down. I would encourage you, if somebody is getting any solicitations for refinance, get with a local lender, because those are typically loaded with fees right now. Now is not quite the time. We're closed. I saw one that somebody had sent me that was almost a $5,000 fee to refinance. That doesn't make sense. So just words to the wise.
Before we go on, actually go ahead through vendors. Colt, we're gonna bring you up right after this slide.
Kevin.
Hi there, Kevin with Allstate Insurance. I provide all the property casualty needs there. Of late, Allstate has reduced their home rates, and we're seeing a lot of rising going up in the industry. We like to say we have a Cadillac of homeowners insurance, and the coverages are very comparable and beatable with a lot of places. So we'd love to help the opportunity and provide that for your clients.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Anybody else?
We're good.
Okay, Colton jumped out of a coaching call to come up here real quick.
Oh,
He
right
wanted to
on
share
up here.
something with us, so we're gonna have him come up here real
Hey,
fast.
this is unscripted and raw, which is dangerous, if
Yes.
you know me. But me and Mike were just talking in the parking lot, and I mean,
So, here, so everybody online
Yeah.
I
can see
can see you.
so online, this happened in the parking lot 30 minutes ago, and I had to delay my coach call, but
it. Some of my best stories in life start that way.
all right. But I mean, just being 100% real, right? We have a Bold coach with 20 years of experience, 10,000 hours of presenting experience, and Springfield showed up with like 40 people or something. Like, are you kidding me? So Branson didn't show up well, Joplin didn't show up well, Lake of the Ozarks didn't show up well. In my opinion, and this is Colton Moses' humble opinion, who knows nothing, I think he's gonna be better than Molly. So I go on record, I said it, I don't care. You can judge me all you want. We hyped up Molly like crazy. This guy has so much experience and he was so real. And we're at a time where a lot of people are complaining to me about their business and what money they're making, but we're not willing to commit $800 to grow yourself. Like, That's it. That's all I had to say. I
Yeah.
was venting to Mike about it in the parking lot. He was like, please come down and say that at team meeting. So I've been to, I'm no Mark Stewart, but I've been to 5. This is my 5th bowl. And I think this guy's gonna be the best one we brought in my humble opinion,
And
right?
yesterday, what did you
So-
share during Bold that you may not let?
I hate it. I don't like bold. I don't like journaling. I don't like
You
doing all
said that in front
that.
of everybody.
I said it in front of everybody. I
On
said it to the coach.
Hold those opinions.
But I always make more money every time I do it. No matter what, I make more money. So that's why I did it, because I want my Q4 and my Christmas to be great for my family, right? And so, yeah, that's it. That's my pitch.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go take my fine from my bold coach now for you guys. So,
Well,
That's
you're
it.
making more
Thank
money,
you.
so it's-
Making more
you got
money. I
it.
gotta
You can
pay
pay
for it.
for it.
We knew he had to slip out, so I want to jump that in, but Coach Scott is such a very real version. I mean, very, very humble for where he came from with the different things he's gone through in life. It's gonna be an experience and you don't want to miss it. I think we got 45 or so signed up so far.
66 total.
45 of Springfield though, and there's room for more. It's off this week, then it starts next week. And we got scholarship programs, we got payment plans. We can get you into this. Like Colton said, some of the stuff we do isn't fun, but it makes you more money. It gives you that bigger Christmas and on down the road. So
Yep, and if you're interested, we have some payment plans still available, so email Nicole and she can give you that information.
now,
Lastly, I wanted to thank our vendor partners. A lot of our vendor partners are stepping up and helping out with Bold, and that's no easy task with venue sponsorship, food, coffee, snacks, all of that. So one, thank you to all of our vendors for their continued partnership. A lot of the
Absolutely.
fun things that we do cannot be because of them. And also thank you to those people helping with Bold, because that is a lot.
and our vendors and affiliates have a culture award for each other each
Yeah.
week. I changed the slide. I got rid of the little Italian guy. So every month we try to do something different. So Christina, what do you have for us this time?
So Italian, because my last name's Ferrante. Little Italian guy? Okay. So.
I'll get it back.
I think I just made him alone.
And today I want to pass along to Kevin with Allstate. Kevin's one of our newer vendors, but he's been to, I think, every single meeting. He's shown up and he's saved my butt on deals. So there you go.
You get to,
Well, we don't have team meeting next week.
I'm sorry, you get to keep that for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So be thinking of who you got on that.
We will not have team meeting next week for everybody in the room due to mega camp. So we're
Mega
skipping
camp.
next week.
So we also have an agent culture award,
Yes.
agent Andy in KW. Last week it was Liliana Owen.
This person that she nominated, this person always has a smile on her face. She is not only good at her job, but she really loves what she does. Her willingness to help others comes from within her soul. Thank you for all you do. Well, she can't really accept it right now.
Yes, she
It's
can.
kind of,
Well, sort of. We're gonna
she's
text her.
enjoying Hawaii. Congratulations, Shayna Blummer.
You're gonna text her, congrats on being the culture winner. Her phone number is,
Time zone is it
I know already. 417.
It's 6:30 there.
Yes. 417-773-1065. I was gonna say that after they texted her, so they wouldn't feel like they're waking her up. 417-773-1065.
That's so
And, okay, so those who don't know, Shannon runs a brokerage within a brokerage. She's got 65 people in there. They produce like a normal, there's 300+ brokerages in GSBOR.
They were in our top 10 this last month. for
They were.
customer retention.
As a team, they were top 10 of even KW. It's amazing. If you don't know what to do, you ought to talk with Shannon about joining the coaching program. It chokes me up every time I think about it. So it will help you get to levels you're not at. Okay, onward.
Onward.
Hello, I'm Katya with Onward. Just final month on the summer promos. If you are wanting something else that's not on there, just talk to me and we can work with you on figuring something out.
Yay. Did you want to get to your little thing before we bring
Yeah,
Jim?
so, I love y'all. The rumor mill is so funny. And it's 11:30 today and I found out at like 10. So for all of you who may be questioning or have heard in the hallway, no, Mike is not leaving us.
I'm still
We're
here.
super excited. We have hired a co-team leader, and that has been our plan for over a year. And so now we have selected a perfect candidate, in my opinion. And so this candidate and Mike will be sharing an office now. So we had some changing in the office, and I heard through the hallways today that people were saying Mike was leaving. So no, Mike is not leaving. And we will be announcing this candidate at a later date. But just so y'all know, if someone comes to you, that is the conversation. And if anyone has questions, come ask me. Happy to answer them. So
You can't get rid of me that easy unless
Yeah.
I do something wrong in a contract here real soon.
if
So-
anything, we'll lose him to Disney. Let's
That's
be honest.
right. Okay, so Jim, Anything new? And I've got a couple questions that were sent in, so we'll throw those up here too.
I like the other picture better though.
No, what did we change
I need to
it?
get that one back then.
Yeah,
I'll get it fixed.
it wasn't just for 1 week.
Oh, now you're down to just the little finger.
Yeah, I'm down to one finger, boys. We had
Happy
one
anniversary, by
change.
the way.
One, huh?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, 42 years.
Woo.
You. You.
Me,
You.
don't forget me.
No. We had one change last week. I think it was a broker from Springfield actually said that the cooperation agreement between brokers, when you signed that, it applied to the world. And so the state freaked out, pulled it down, took out paragraph 5. My suggestion is still the same. Call the agent first. Is there compensation? If there is, you know it's there. You really don't have to write anything. But to protect yourself, you would use a compensation rider. And because it's already been agreed to in their agreement, check box A. If you call them and they say, no, the seller's not offering anything, then you check box B and put the number in there that you want. And then they have to respond because it is a contract and it's a rider attached to the contract, so they can't just ignore it. They have to do something.
Yeah, so I think the broker form is kind of extinct now and will probably go away. Because you don't need it,
Cooperation.
the cooperation, because now you can address it in the contract and you don't need to worry about that.
And where that originated was, we have SOMO, but then there's Ozark Trails. And they're different MLSs. Well, we had an agreement to cooperate with everybody within the MLS, but we didn't have an agreement with that MLS. So that's where that agreement actually originated. Well, now,
We have the
we don't
right.
have an agreement anywhere, so we cooperate if we can.
So remember in our contracts class, we talked about the 2 different forms. And so the cooperation one now doesn't necessarily need to be used. They actually pulled it away from form simplicity. So I would assume DocuSign and Dotloop will be removing it as well. Sorry, words. But for the writer, a couple of things. What Jim is saying, having the conversation. There was an agent yesterday that was filling out the writer. They checked both boxes. The other agent said, you don't need to do that. You're asking for double compensation. The problem that's happening is the agent is not calling the other agent first to even ask and inquire about compensation. So they're automatically checking both boxes. Well, then you don't need to do that if you already know where the compensation is coming from when you attach that writer. So I would really encourage you to have that conversation first because, and if you check both boxes, it brings double compensation and you don't want to do that. So just have the conversation so you send the writer.
Or
And the
you-
other agent's
you can't do
response
it
was pretty
because
direct.
If you have a buyer's agency agreement that says X,
Mhm.
and then you ask for double X,
Mhm.
you can't get paid that anyway because it's not allowed by the statute anymore. You can only get what you put in that blank on the buyer's agency agreement. That's a maximum amount.
So here's a question that came in on the addendum this week. If you submit an offer on the new forms and attach the new compensation rider, but the listing agent and seller counter changing terms of the compensation rider, would you need to have all parties sign a new rider with all party signatures? Since a counter offer only requires a signature of buyer and seller. Here's what legal line said. If the compensation rider is attached to an offer and the counter offer involves a change to the terms of the rider, then legal line would advise that a new compensation rider with the changed terms be signed by all parties. So make sure everybody, before it gets to the title company, everybody knows who's paying what.
Well, the deal is, so you ask for X, they counter on a counter form. They just acknowledge that you've sent the other over and they tell you, no, we're paying X. Then you can still counter with an attached compensation rider with your X. I mean, it's just the same thing as negotiating anything. So, let's not get confused by why should I do that or how should I do it? Just because somebody says they're gonna pay you less than you asked for, doesn't mean you can't go back and ask again and say, look, you wanna sell it or not? Because my buyer doesn't want to pay the compensation. So, and I think the sellers, I know if I was in that position and it was a good solid offer and I've been on the market 43 days, I would agree to it.
And one other thing to mention, so if you're doing a transaction with an EXP agent, they have created a new form for them that they will not allow any sort of listing broker compensation. So on the rider, the only sellers will be allowed to provide compensation. So the rider would only come from seller. Still have that conversation with the EXP agent, but they are not allowing any sort of listing broker compensation. And they've created their own new process. And so if you have that and you have that transaction, just be aware of that.
Listing broker compensation?
Correct. They don't provide any, they will not do that.
Cooperating to the buyer.
Yes.
So they're
Correct,
just.
so on the rider, so all the compensation will only come from the seller.
Well, I know we're being reported to the public. I'm not necessarily in agreement with that. Don't think that's a bright idea, but I'm not at EXP either. Any questions? It says
Yeah,
contract questions.
anything else that's come up you all have run into? Every week, we're gonna have a segment for a while, just because it's all new. Everybody's
Yeah.
learning forward on this.
Any other questions? Has anybody had any weird conversations or navigating that, but everybody feels equipped to have those conversations?
Okay, one last thing, just a reminder, it's your listing, somebody calls, wants to see it, you don't need a buyer's agency agreement. You do not need it, as long as it's your listing. If they get there and say, boy, this house is not what I was looking for, but that down the street looks perfect, now you gotta have an agency agreement. So anytime you show a listing to somebody who is not under a buyer's agency, that you're showing them your listing, you should have a buyer's agency contract with you, probably a hard copy right there with you, and a Missouri broker disclosure form, because that's required first.
Okay, any other questions? We're good? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jim.
Okay, no questions there also. Also, this is now ready. You'll see it plastered all over the building. Thanks to Cody and whoever else put that together. This side will show you any listings that have been entered. This is how you enter a new one. So if you want to let all of KW know what your commission is that you're gonna co-op with, use that to put into a form. This is where they all go to. And so you'll see these all around everywhere.
And reminder, this can only be shared within agents within Keller Williams. So you can't share this with any other company on that side. So if you have a listing and you want to share your information, put it on there, and then you'll be able to go through. You'll be able to see all the listings that have been inputted and the compensation provided. Landon's working on the system to go through and highlight if they're under contract and to remove them once they've closed as well.
And you'll notice on these 11:30 meetings, we're gonna zip through some stuff pretty quickly. We've talked to death about CE, you know how to do it. Here's
You'll
the-
be on Nicole's naughty list here soon.
That's
Don't
right.
worry, you'll get a call.
Here's the market numbers, same things going forward. Compared to last year, we're having more things hit the market. Don't call people, don't get sued. We're up to 1,955 listings as of yesterday, so that's still climbing. We'll see what
Last
happens.
year, 1,268.
700 more houses to choose from
Quite a-
and lower interest rates. Talk to people who said they're not gonna buy for a while. Say, hey, there's more to choose from and it's cheaper. This is your calling for the week.
I heard someone say yesterday, I think it was at Bold, that it's still a seller's market, but it's very much acting like a buyer's market in terms of negotiations.
Especially inspections. All right, Realtor slides for the week. If you had wanted to watch the video of them walking through the contracts, the recording is now available. Here's the August calendar. As you can tell, we're focused mostly on Bold, Mega Camp, and contracts this month. Anything we need to point out here?
So again, no team meeting next week. The week after, Adam will be doing the 80-20 principle from the 6PP. Then the 28th, Trey will be doing move from entrepreneurial to purposeful. Shanna is bringing back Monday Madness Legion at 9 a.m. Training center.
Madness. Okay, sorry.
Yep, so if, as during Bold, you have to have 20 contacts a day, 100 contacts a week, or you'll get a foul, this would be the perfect time to be here and help make your calls and lead generate on that way, so you don't have to get a foul for the next day.
Awesome. Like everything we do ties into other things.
Crazy, crazy.
Okay, next month, Hispanic Heritage Party.
Maria, anything? Noah?
Uh-oh, two of them.
Two of them.
We'll come
Full
up.
force. Yep, thank you.
Long walk.
Yep.
It is.
Woo-hoo!
Hi, guys. Well, we are almost a month away from our Hispanic Heritage Party, so we are in full gear. We're super excited. We're gonna have a petting zoo and some pony rides and some amazing food vendors. We have amazing sponsors that are making this event possible, and we want to invite you guys to come, invite your clients, call your people. With Bold, it's a good reason to call your people and have a free event that they can come to. What we ask of you is we're still looking for giveaway items and sponsorships. If anyone wants to still sponsor, we need piñatas, candies, any other giveaway items that you can think of, gift cards and stuff. And our beneficiary for this year is Hand in Hand. They help with immigration paperwork for people that don't have the resources. And they also help women in DV situations as well as giving sex education and many other programs that they have, which are very important to our community.
And if you're interested in volunteering that night, come see one of us
Yep.
three.
Yes.
And we'll get you, it does take a village to put on an event like this, including setup and with the fun games and everything. So you'll get a cool shirt. So just let us know, but we'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
And every morning when I pull in the parking lot, I look and the piñata pulley is still there.
Perfect.
So
We'll
I'll be able
need
to
it.
do those.
We've advanced so far. Year one, I was happy I was not here.
Oh
Someone
my
was up-
God.
someone was up on a ladder holding the pinata.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I think there was a picture though, so unfortunately, I don't think it's allegedly.
We're working on your tequila tasting. It's not set in stone
Okay.
yet, but we're working on it.
Every week.
okay?
Thanks,
Get that vendor going. All right, anybody know what you're doing in February? Guess what?
Yeah.
Family reunion dates are up, February 17th through 21. We're gonna put this on so you can start knowing about it ahead of time. And every week during the Wednesdays, we're gonna have a different ALC member focus on one of the 6 personal perspectives. So today we're gonna have Susan Heron in a few moments, but Mega Camp is this next week. So if you've not signed up yet, it's not too late, but flights are getting more expensive, aren't they? So we might be looking, some people want a caravan down, but it is still possible to get on there. You need this to get filled up and get yourself all charged up for the season coming. And we are still the number 3 market center in the country. We're actually at 39 people now, 38. 38. So we're number 3 in the whole country. We still got room for more. So it's not too late. Talk to us. We actually have a couple extra tickets that we might be able to get you also at the old reduced rate. So that's what we got. Again, we're gonna try and get through these pretty quickly so we can focus on one of our ALC members each week. This week it's Susan. She's gonna start us with the 6 personal
Let's go,
perspectives committing to
Susan.
self-mastery. Give her a round of applause. And you want the clicker or the pickle as Gary calls it?
Okay.
I don't know why they call it that. That's
So
not-
6 personal perspectives is one of the core classes of Keller Williams. And so when we talk about each of these, it's more of who you need to become or how you're operating within your business or as a personal. So thanks, Susan. So excited.
Thank you all. I'm gonna be quick, so we're gonna just fly through this material very quickly. I have Krista and Alan here, so the 3 of us are Red Door. So if we can ever help you in any way, our office is upstairs on the north side. And we love to just, anything that you all need, especially if you're a new agent and you need something, we're here to help. So today we're gonna talk about self-mastery. And one of the things I wanted to do is talk about what mastery means and what that looks like for us. So mastery starts with the decision to excel at something, a decision to put time and effort into achieving excellence or to reject mediocrity. So, pretty self-explanatory. Self-mastery is when you decide that you are going to take on mastering yourself. When you accept this challenge, you can effectively lead yourself and direct your success. So, how many of us have a challenge in the real estate world? If you guys all don't have your.
I thought it was plural.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges that we face in real estate? We all got into real estate thinking, oh, it's so fun to sell houses and show houses, and that's about not much what we do, right? So what are some challenges that we're facing?
Getting more business,
Getting more business, and what do you have to do to get more business?
talk to more people.
And what's that terrible phrase that we hear, that name that we call that, talking people?
Lead generation.
Yes, everybody kind of cower when they hear that term, lead gen. You can ask Krista, she's like, hey, phone calls. Phone calls, those phone calls need to happen, so. Let's just take that, because that's kind of the big thing that we all have to face, and I think it's really important to break it down. When you look at lead gen, what are the things that you all feel need to happen for lead generation to take place?
Time blocking.
Time blocking, okay. What are some of the actions that you need to do to do the lead generation?
Figure out who I'm gonna call or talk to.
Yeah. Anything else? Actually making phone calls? Finding a spot to do it, all of those things. What are the fears that we have in doing those things?
Rejection.
Rejection, yeah. Jordan. What else?
Coming across salesy.
That's a big one. That's really tough. That's really tough. What else?
What do I talk about? Why am I calling them?
Yeah, I got this list of people to call and I haven't called them in 8 years and now suddenly I'm calling somebody. This is really awkward, right? Anything else? For me, I feel like I have to put a seatbelt on because I don't focus well on things at all. And so to sit there and just make phone calls. So one of the challenges that I've had over the years is trying to redefine what lead gen looks like in my world. Because when I hear lead gen, I go back to, 08. Gary Keller used to, Keller Williams, just make phone calls, make phone calls, make phone calls. You gotta be on a dialer, you gotta call 3 hours a day. I'm like, that's like me writing down my mileage down for my business. I'm like, it's not gonna happen. If the tax person can't find another way for that to happen, it's not gonna work. So I've had to go back, and as I focus on what lead gen means for me, I wanna be a master. That's the main thing that drives our business. If we're not talking to people, we don't have business. So I had to go within, thus the self part, and say, what works for me? What really works? And I would challenge you all to take that, whatever that thing is that you want to master, and just break it down and say, okay, what do I like about lead gen? I don't call it lead gen. What's happened is over the years now, we're hearing Gary Keller talk more about relationships. We are in a relationship business. So if we can't be friendly to people, maybe we shouldn't be in the business, right? So when I took that whole mindset thing and said, it's not about just give me business, give me business, give me business. And I started thinking about being in relationships with people, because we marriage counselors, we're financial advisors, we are, sometimes painters, cleaners, babysitters, you name it, we do all of it. And so when you take that and you transition it to that, you can all of a sudden be a master at something that you thought was really a scary thing. So for me, my MAPS coach and I sat down and said, what works? And we decided that networking face-to-face is a much better thing for me to do. Do I still sit down and text people, hey, how's it going? Do I still make phone calls? One of the things about mastering something like that is just doing it. Family reunion, I know, was it Mel Robbins?
Yes.
Talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Just do it. That's one of the best ways that you can actually master something, is going, my brain's telling me I don't want to make this phone call. My brain's telling me that I need to do X, or I need to go talk to somebody in the office about nothing related to real estate. But I know that if I want to become a master at something, I'm going to have to funnel that energy to the right things. So for me to develop my self-mastery in networking and lead generation, that awful term that I don't like, I had to really get defined about what that looks like for me. So one of the things I challenge myself to do every week is look for opportunities where I can be in front of people. Where can I network? Where I'm going to see the same people, sometimes the same people over and over again, because time over time, you hone those skills, and all of a sudden you're seeing people and they go, oh yeah, that's right. Susan sells real, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, and are people asking us right now about the real estate market like crazy? Everybody wants to know. So it's a good way to do that. Self-mastery can be anything. So I challenge you guys to think, what's something in your personal world that you can work on? When you go to the gym, your muscles tear. Every time you lift heavy weights, your muscles are literally tearing. And it sounds like a terrible thing, right? Your muscles are tearing, but what happens over time? They heal, they tear a little bit more, and pretty soon you can lift more. And so you'll find that you'll never become a perfectionist at any of this stuff, but the self-mastery is a journey that we're on to get to a better place so that we can grow and do more. Only when you have attained both self-mastery and mastery can you accomplish the goals you set for yourself. My challenge to you all today is to take 5 minutes and write down something you want to get really good at. And then say, what are the steps that I need to take? Do I need to create a place to make those phone calls? Do I need to schedule something that I can be at on a regular basis so that I'm in front of people all the time? I think that will help you all. If you want to learn how to cook, go to Pinterest and find one recipe. Start with one thing. You don't have to do, oh wait, there's the one thing.
Wow.
So it's like you planned it. I know, it's weird. Because everything at Keller Williams kind of ties together, and if you all haven't been here long enough, you'll figure that out. So I'm going to leave you with this. Oh, sorry, we were gonna talk about mindset and action. Definitely get in the mindset. If you don't like the term lead gen, reframe it, call it something else. It's okay. Whatever works for you, become a master at that. You want to do open houses well, dive in and find out what works well in that capacity. And then do we go to the gym and sit on the bench and hope the weights will lift themselves, or do we actually
Yes.
follow through?
I do.
Mike does, then he gets up here and dances. So you've got to take the action. And I think that's where a lot of us get stuck. We say, oh, we can, I can do, and then, but we don't do it. And so that's why Krista's always there to remind me, hey, don't forget, you need to call these people. I'll leave you with this. This quote was just going around in my head. Opportunity is missed by people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. If we don't do the things that we need to do, we won't become masters at our trade. And that's where a lot of people just think realtors, oh, no big deal, right? They just open doors and all that. There's actually a skill to what we do. There's a skill to negotiating. There's a skill to knowing the houses that we're looking at and showing. There's a way to show them. There's a way to look for defects to help our clients out. There's a way to navigate through the contracts that are always changing. There's a way to navigate through the negotiation of the repairs and all that. So don't be afraid of hard work. It really is good for you. And so pick that one thing that you can think of that you really want to master. If you all have any questions, we're all here to help. Everybody on the ALC and leadership.
That was awesome. Thank you. Rachel, I realized we forgot to tell some people what ALC stands for, what it means.
Scott and I have different answers.
Oh,
Well, yesterday he said Agent Leadership Council.
And it's associate.
Leadership Council.
so what do they do though? So for somebody that's
So for
curious.
those of you that don't know what our ALC is, the Associate Leadership Council is comprised of the top 10% of our agents. So every year it's a little bit different on the terms of numbers. Sometimes we've had 15, sometimes we've had 10, sometimes we have 12. And so every month we meet together down here in the training room and we're going over the numbers at the Market Center. We're an open book company. We're talking about our financials. We're talking about where we are as a leadership team, where we're on track with our goals. But my favorite part about the entire meeting is that we get to learn about our agents' businesses. They've set their goals, they've turned those in. We get to talk about that. And we also get to hear what opportunities and what challenges that they have. And it's so cool to see the collaboration and conversation that happens in this room. We've had some agents overcome a hurdle. Maybe it's making a hire, maybe it's making an adjustment in their business just from that conversation. And that wouldn't have pushed that one agent to go make that hire if that conversation wouldn't have happened. So it's by far one of my favorite meetings of the entire year. We get to hear from our top agents, and it's really what makes, it's the spirit of Keller Williams, of why Keller Williams is the company. We're built by agents for agents. And so I would encourage you to come and be a part of one of those meetings. You can't speak, but you can definitely listen. And I guarantee you there'll be something that you can take away and add into your business from that meeting.
So Susan, thank you for being our first one to
Yeah.
go through these today. Every time we end with AHAs, and that stands for agents helping agents. There's codes for everything.
Kellerisms.
What did you hear from Susan that you can apply immediately?
Mindset the right way.
Getting your mindset the right way.
I love that change the name of it. The word lead gen just goes, ugh, but I get to call some friends.
Yep.
Or I get to go do an event or whatever, Landon.
So Susan found what works for her, being in front of clients face to face. I think when it comes to self-mastery, that self-awareness is the first step. So where are you currently at? Setting goals and where you want to be. So she was able to be highly self-aware of what works for her. And so for me, that's the first thing you need to identify is where you're currently at and be honest with yourself. So.
And if you need help figuring out your goals, anybody from leadership, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you grow your business to whatever. Set a time with us. We'll sit down. We'll help you through all the different models we have to help you get going with everything.
And I think Susan was right. In the few years when I first came to KW as well, it was more of dialing on the phone, cold calling, dialers, all of that. And it really has changed. And that is something that's so refreshing I've seen from Gary. It's all about the relationships on that side. And what works for me won't work for you probably in your business, or it could work the same way. And we're going to run it completely different ways. And the spirit of Keller Williams is coming from contribution. And I can show you exactly, any agent will show you this is exactly what we do in order to get our business. And I can guarantee, even if you do that same thing, you won't do it to the same level because they've spent time over that to master it. We get to the self-mastery. Yet it gives you a model to work off of. And so whether it is more building relationships, if it's client events, if it's networking, if it is cold calling or for sale by owners, all of that works. And the beauty is you have the opportunity to run your business that way.
And speaking of relationships, we're purposely trying to end Wednesdays around 12:05 to 12:10, so you can go to lunch with
Oh, it's
somebody.
12:05.
We
Okay.
made it right on time
Yep.
there. So reminder, next week, no team meeting. Still not too late to sign up for Mega Camp and join us down there in Austin. It's gonna be cool,
No, you're lying. It's supposed to be like 100 degrees every day.
but it's cold inside the rooms,
Okay.
so you gotta dress for
You
both.
just have to walk there.
Yeah. All right, thank you all for being here today. Thank you online.
Thank you.
Susan. Have a
Thank you,
great
Susan.
week.
Good to see you, Jim.